Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make little mini happy hearts. These are basically the hearts from my happy tea bag, but because Valentine Day is coming up, we need to have their own little tutorial to make them. They're kind of like the little mini conversation hearts. They're pretty easy to make and they are not too band heavy. They are only 78 bands each. And then you have your eyes, your cheeks, and your mouth. And then you can see that I used the two different size eyes on these to see what they'd look like. So I mean, you can kind of pick which one you like. The littler ones kind of hide in there a little bit more, and then you have the bigger ones that definitely pop out. So that's up to you. I'll use the little ones in the tutorial, but we'll get started. So first, we want to make the eyes. If you use the smaller eyes, these are the 7mm pony beads. I find these at Michael's, is where I get them from. Their Creatology brand. But if you use these, you're going to want to have a piece of craft wire or string, thread, floss, anything you can fold into a V shape, and then take two bands, the color that you're going to use, put them in the center, then take your bead, thread it, and pull it down. So you'd have a beaded eye band, but if you don't have that size bead, then it's just one band, the color of the eye, on the hook, wrap it around, grab both bands, wrap them around again, and then pull through two bands. Like that. So the one band will be the smaller eye. If you want to have the bigger eye, then it's two bands. So you want your eyes, and then the cheeks are made the same way as the eyes, just whatever color you want the cheek to be, on the hook, wrapped around, grab both bands, double them again, and pull through two bands. So you want two cheeks. So you want to make those, and then grab our loom, have the wrong end towards us. Then we're going to make two little X's on the loom. So everything's double banded. Start on the left, go over to the right at an angle. Then you go right over the top of that. Like that. Then on these two pins right here, we're going to do cap bands. It's two bands wrapped around once and twice. Same thing over here. Once and twice. And then we're going to make another one just like this one right up here on these four pins. Like that. And right over the top. And then our cap bands. Like that. And then we'll loom these out. So starting over here on the right side, because that's the band that's on the bottom, we'll go in through that cap band, grab those two bottom bands, pull them up through, and back across the loom to the other side. Then we'll go on the left, do the same thing, through the cap band, grab the bottom two bands, pull them back across, and then push that down, and then do the same thing on the other one. Start on the one that is on the bottom. Up, over, and the other side. Like that. And then around each little cross, we're going to do two rows. So this will be our first row, double banded. We'll just go around each one. Like that. Now on all the pins, you'll flip the bottom four bands. push that down. We'll do our second row around each side. Like that. Flip the bottom 4. Alright. Then you want to push that down. Then you go in and grab kind of the center area on each side. Pull it up over the top of the pin. On the other side. So once you get those pulled up, we need to move them closer. So I'm just going to grab this lower one. You can do either or, but I'm going to grab the bands up here on this top right on the lower one and just pull them up, overlapping the one up here on the top. I'll do the same thing over here. And then I'll bring these up a pin as well on the bottom. Like that. And then push them down. So it'll be like that. 8 bands in the center and then 4 on the ends. Our next row is going to be our eye row. So you want your eyes. So 2 bands right here to start. And then the next 2 spots right here are going to be our eyes. So there's 1 and 2, and then 2 bands are on the rest. Like that. And then we flip, the corners are going to be the 4 bands to go over. And the center is going to be those 8 bands. So you have 4 for moving them closer, and then 4 from the row on the other side. Same thing on the other side. Push everything down. And just kind of pull up the center area again. So our next row will be our cheek row. So it's the same thing as the eye row pretty much. 2 bands on the bottom, and then our cheek. And when I put the cheeks on, I put the one side on, and then I'll squish the cheek all the way to that pin as close as I can. It just kind of helps, because otherwise they want to be right underneath the eye because it's a smaller piece. I'll put the other one on. So I'll pick the middle back up here, squish this back towards the other pin, and put it back on. And then 2 bands are on the rest. I'm trying to shake my sleepies because I laid down for a nap earlier that lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. So like this, flip the bottom 4 all the way around. I thought it'd be up about 2 hours ago, so not so much. Okay, pull those up again. And we'll put our mouth on. Just one color, one band. Well, of course it's one color. This one's one color. Put it on your hook, wrap it around to double it. And then let's go and grab these bands in the center between the eyes with my hook, pull them off, slide down my mouth band, and then put the bands back onto the pin. Like that. It's hiding in there, but it's there. And then what we want to do is we're going to reduce. So, these lower pins, we're going to go in, find the top two bands, go through those, grab the bottom two, pull them up through, and bring them towards the center. And then these can come off. So do the same thing up here on the front. Go in through the top two, grab the bottom two, pull them up through, bring it towards the center, and pull these off. And the top ones, in through the top two, grab the bottom two, pull them up, back towards the center. That can come off. And same thing for the last one. In through the top two, grab the bottom two, pull them up, and towards the center. And these can come off too. And you want to push all that down. And we're going to do technically a row around, but it'll be, it's still the two bands, but you kind of want to put them on one side, stretch them around the outside of your heart, and then bring them towards the front. And then do the same thing on the other side. To put them on one side. And there's a lot of bands on the pin and you're pulling it around a lot of stuff, so just kind of get it around there and bring it to the other side. So it'll be like that, kind of all squishy. Then once you're there, you'll flip the bottom 8 bands. So there's 4 from the reducing we did, and then 4 from the row before. Same thing on the front. And here. And you want to push those down. Pull up the center. Kind of unhook anything off your pins on the sides. And we're ready to take it off the loom. So hook in. Pull off one side, come around, grab the other side, take it off, and just kind of pull on it. And then I'm going to take 2 bands, pull them through what's on my hook, put both ends on, make that slip knot. Pull tight. Then I need to pull my side bands down here. So we'll take our tail and we'll hide it, and when we hide it we want to be careful not to pull too hard so that the whole bottom point of the heart disappears. So I brought my hook up through. I'm actually going to bring it up kind of in the knot. So you can see where the knot comes through. The bands on the bottom. I'm going to bring my hook up through that center again. And grab the bands. kind of hold on to them and then pull down into the heart. And I hooked a mouth band, of course. But then just kind of pull until it kind of disappears, but not all the way. So we still have that nice point at the end. So then we have this. You may have to kind of adjust some of the sides. You shouldn't have any of the reducing bands that poke out from when we reduced it. There's those ones we pulled off the loom after. Those should be contained nicely inside, but if they aren't, just take your hook, go in there, grab them, and pull them in to hide them inside. But all the ones that I made, they were all hidden pretty well, so. And like so, adjust the smile. Pull your cheeks over. When you have the smaller eyes, and the cheeks want to kind of invade the middle area. There we go. Then pull up my top here a little bit more on one side. So sweet, little tiny heart. Not too hard to make, hopefully. Pretty quick. Probably one of the shortest tutorials I've ever made in my life. But that's a good thing, because then you can make a whole bunch of them for a cute little gift or decoration for Valentine's Day. So I hope that you like these and that they were easy for you and that they are perfect for your Valentine's sweetie. If you make some or make them together as like a little gift, definitely share them with me on my Instagram, which is @craftingfantastic. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you see when I come out with new things, because there's always more coming. And I will have more tutorials for you soon. Happy Valentine's Day!